So here is the Am I the Asshole subreddit. We will be going through a bunch of the articles here, and Twitch chat will be voting. Are these people assholes or not? Am I the asshole for making my boyfriend feel uncomfortable after he insisted on joining us on girls' night in? My boyfriend, male 27, started asking to join me in my girls' night in. Every time I tried to say no, he'd be like, I have to join or you'll have to cancel. That's weird. It made me and the girls miserable having to sit there with him in the middle. That's a weird boyfriend, first of all. Okay, but okay. Let's continue. This past Friday, he insisted to join us again. I had enough. I came up with an idea to get him to hate hanging out with us. Made a plan and told the girls what we were going to do, and they were down for it. The girls came and my boyfriend immediately sat with us and started ruining our conversations by steering them towards him, his work, his achievement. So here's what I did. I started bringing up gross, embarrassing subjects, and the girls were eating them up by talking about them in details. Subjects like sex, periods, cramped diarrhea, hairy legs. Okay, we got the message. We talked about this stuff in boring details, like I could feel his discomfort when even looking at him. But God, when I turned to see why he got quiet suddenly, he was getting red in the face and had sweat all over his forehead. I bet he found himself unable to relate to these subjects, thus couldn't take part in the conversation. He got up from the couch ready to head out. I looked at him and asked where he was going, and he was just like, I just remember that I have an important meeting with a guy in about 10 minutes. I have to go now. He rushed out telling us to have fun. The girls and I started laughing hysterically. He came home and berated me, saying I made him feel uncomfortable, sick with a horrible subject. This guy is such an asshole. I said, what are you talking about? This is the typical stuff girls talk about all the time, but he insisted I made him upset and caused him to leave. He declined to speak to me and been quiet since then. Am I the asshole? So, let's start the vote. The votes are coming in and it looks like the vast majority, 90% approximately, are saying no. No, this lady is not an asshole. Am I the asshole for telling a dude in a wheelchair to F off? Okay. I, 21 male, was walking into a supermarket the other day, and there was a guy in a wheelchair coming in behind me, and I held the door for him. I was just trying to be polite. Anyway, he says something like to the effect of, wow, dude, you're just holding the door because I'm in a wheelchair. I could have done it myself. I thought this was pretty rude response to someone trying to be polite, but whatever. Then once he's in the store, he follows me and goes on and on about how just because he's in a wheelchair doesn't mean I need to infantilize him or something like that. I just ignored him at first, but then he wouldn't stop talking about it, so I kind of snapped and said I was just trying to be nice, man, F off. He looked all taken back and just gave me a scowl and left. I told my mom the story later and she said I overreacted. Am I the asshole? 1, 2, 1, 2. A lot of some ones, a lot of twos. A lot of twos coming in. Maybe I could have gone without the F word. Okay, it looks like the majority is saying no. No, he was not the asshole. I agree with the no. So 93% said no. Am I the asshole for laughing at my daughter when she asked to be paid for chores? I'm a single mom with 2 kids, 15 and 8. My daughter does what she can to help out while my son does less since he's younger, but we're working on that. All of a sudden the other day she asked me to pay her for washing dishes. I initially thought she was joking and started chuckling, but she was not amused and started screaming at me. I told her she can get paid when she pays me back for all the food and clothes I've bought for her, and for providing her with free housing. She got mad at me and went to her room. My son told me that was mean, and now I'm wondering if I was a bit harsh. So am I the asshole? She definitely could have handled it better, in my opinion. I would say, yeah, she kind of is an asshole. I would say, yeah, she is an asshole in this scenario. And it looks like most of you are agreeing this time. Many children want to be paid. It's not like uncommon. I remember I wanted to be paid for taking out trash as well. I actually got paid like 50 cents for bringing out trash. I had to wait for the trash truck to come and then throw the trash in. Am I the asshole for implying my brother should cancel his proposal to his fiancée because she's ungrateful? Ooh, this sounds spicy. So the author is 31-year-old female. Dear brother, 26-year-old male, decided to propose to his girlfriend a few weeks ago. We went ring shopping together and he picked a ring he thought she would like. After all, we picked a classic piece, and you can never go wrong with a classic piece. He proposed and all was well. That was until I saw them again 2 days ago, after their proposal, and I noticed my brother's fiancé had a different ring than the one we picked. I of course asked, and she shamelessly admitted that she didn't like the OG ring, and they went and changed it for another one she liked better. I told her that's a really weird thing of her to do, and that she should be happy and grateful. After all, the ring was a classic, so it could fit anyone's style. She said that she had previously sent pictures of the styles of rings she likes to my brother, and she's not into the classic pieces anyway, and she was disappointed how my brother ignored her own taste and opinion and got something she was clear from the start she wouldn't like, and that they, after all, agreed to go change the ring. I asked for the price of the new ring, and apparently it was the same price as the OG one. So I doubt that. The ring looked way more expensive, and it was not even a classic diamond like the first one, but instead a huge emerald stone, which would not fit in many occasions. I told my brother that if I were him, I'd call off the engagement and have serious talk with my partner, because what his fiancé did is unacceptable behavior. My brother said I'm being rude and how I should mind my own business because he is fine with his fiancé's choice of changing the ring. He also said he's the one at fault for getting the other ring, so I better stop acting like an asshole. I insisted this is very rude and ungrateful for someone to do, and that she should be happy she at least got a proposal and a ring. My brother and his fiancé both got mad at me and now think I'm an asshole for implying such a thing. Am I the asshole? Well, chat, is she an asshole? I would say yes, definitely. She is definitely such an asshole, oh my god. Well, it's none of her business, especially if the ring cost the same thing. And even if it didn't, it's none of her business. I never understood what's the point of getting such an expensive ring in the first place for engagement. Like, the Americans literally spend like tens of thousands of dollars for engagement rings. I never get that. Just get something that you both like that looks nice and that will not bankrupt you. Am I the asshole for not visiting my parents for Easter if I had to sleep separately from my girlfriend? I, 28 male, have been with my partner, 27-year-old female, 3 years now. We've both expressed desire to not get married until our 30s, if ever. It's just not a rush or priority for us, but we are committed. My parents called me and asked if I'd visit home for Easter in 2 weeks. We've only been to my parents' house together once, and they made us sleep in separate bedrooms. Not that I can't sleep alone for a weekend, but it just felt ridiculous given that we are adults. They said that it's their house, their rules. And it's always been that way until marriage for my 2 older siblings too. Well, when they called yesterday, I told them I would if we could sleep in the same room like adults, but I'm not interested in driving down 7 hours or paying for a flight to sleep separately like we are in high school. They are very, very upset and saying that I'm trying to get them to compromise on their values. I told them they don't have to compromise, I just won't come. Now my older brother is saying I should just play along because he had to do the same before he got married. I feel like that was his choice and I'm making mine. I'm not religious, so Easter doesn't really mean much to me from that standpoint, and I wouldn't mind just staying in the city I live in or going to her parents' place an hour away from me. They also get mad that I've stayed at their house 5 times but only once at theirs. I told them that's because they treat us like adults, and if they would do the same, I would visit more. Am I being too harsh? I don't think he's an asshole. No, I don't think he's an asshole. I think he's just having different values, which is fine. I don't think parents are assholes either. They just have different values. Most people are saying no. No, and I agree with that decision. My female 26, husband male 26 works long days, pretty much 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sometimes even later. He is a utility locator, if that's helpful, and spring summer is the busiest time. He sets his alarm for 5:30 a.m. every morning, even on weekends, because he is fearful of it not working when it needs to. No matter how many times I try to explain that you can set a schedule for it. We don't actually get up right when the alarm goes off. We generally push snooze until it's 6 or 6:30. His workday starts whenever he gets in his company vehicle and drives to a ticket. Why he sets it for 5:30 is a mystery. I am not a morning person, and he is the one who presses snooze. I repeat, I'm not a morning person, and lately I've been having trouble sleeping. Yet my husband insists that I get up with him, so I make his work lunch. Well, today I had a particularly hard time getting up, and while getting up I was in a fog, so I moved slower than normal. I had decided to give him leftover pasta salad and make him a sandwich to go with it. Whilst I was in the kitchen, he received 3 emergency calls, which meant he had to leave before I could finish packing his lunch. I hadn't even pulled out the salad yet due to having trouble finding any deli meat for his sandwich. He began rushing me and telling me, this is why I pester you to get up. Did you even start on my lunch? I said I was trying to find, but he cut me off. I guess no lunch for me then. He snapped while pouring himself coffee in a travel mug. I shushed him, which I guess was the wrong thing to do. He started ranting at me about how it's always so difficult to get me up. I snapped and said, well, maybe you should be a man and pack your own lunch from now on. That's what family member who has the same job does. Husband snaps back, well, I'm not him and you're not his wife. I said, glad that's clear. Either way, expect me not to get up all next week and pack your own lunch from now on. In the midst of all this, I had packed him a container of the salad and a fork. At least it was something. He stormed out as soon as I had zipped his lunchbox for him. I know a lot of this was said in a frustration, but I admit I do envy the family members who are in the same positions as us. The wife and I are both stay-at-home moms with toddlers, yet she's not expected to always pack her husband's lunch. He just grabs whatever is in the fridge or preps it at night so he can grab and go the next morning. I tried doing the same for my husband and he complained about it not being fresh. I should point out the family member is in his late 30s, so I guess it's a matter of maturity. But I feel the need of outsiders' opinions. Am I the asshole here? That was a ride. Took me a while to get through it. Is she an asshole? I would say definitely not. But husband is such an asshole. Like pack your own lunch. Come on, you can easily pack it the night before, not being fresh. Yeah, it's super fresh if you keep it in the car for a couple of hours, then it will be super fresh. So we have a unanimous vote that no, she's not an asshole here. That husband is such an asshole.